Hey, I'm Stephanie, and it's time to talk about new makeup because I'm cranky and talking about new makeup makes me feel better. Apparently, I'm a very simple person. But before we jump into the newest of the new, it's been a while since I've done one of these videos, and there are a couple of things that came out, I don't know, like a month ago that I'd kind of like to talk about. So I thought we could start with those because it's kind of insane that if a piece of makeup has been on the market for 6 weeks, that it's old. So I'm going to talk about them anyway. Old new thing number one is the new Danessa Groundwork palette. I think she's calling it Blooming Romance, the pink one. I want that. And I think at some point I'm going to get it because look what I have here. The original Defining Neutrals Groundwork palette. Looks like chocolate, smells like fruit, very confusing, but ultimately this has been super useful to me. As someone who enjoys using creams as much as using powders, as someone who travels a lot, and as someone who really enjoys subtlety, I feel like these palettes are made for me. If you were watching my videos at the end of last year, you might recall I had said I wasn't going to pick this palette up. But then at the end of December, I had a chance to swatch it in person and I was like, nope, that is exactly what I've been looking for. And this is actually the palette that put an end to my search for a new cream contour and I have not regretted it. I'm constantly using these putties in my brows and as liners. The shadows, of course, I'm using all over the place. And I even tried using the formulas on my cheeks and my lips and they looked beautiful. But when I was using this, I was always like, you know what? This is gorgeous for the full face. Like it really, the formulas work everywhere. But I just wish there were some pinks because I think I could use those as blushes and lipsticks. And lo and behold, what does she do? Danessa Myricks reads my mind and creates a pink version of this. So yeah, it's right up my alley. Have I bought it yet? No. Do I plan on it? Yes. I just haven't quite figured out if I can afford it yet. The money's in my bank account, so financially, yes, I can afford it. That's not a problem. But can I afford it in the mental, spatial, energetic sense of the word? That I haven't quite figured out yet. And if that sounds confusing, I understand. But I did a recent video on the true cost of an item. And if you missed that, I'll link it below because there I talk a little bit about my plans about how I'm going to be reorganizing my makeup collection so that I can easily visualize what I can afford. So if I'm in the mood to purchase new makeup, I can simply look at my collection and see if I have the space and the time and the energy to fit something new into my collection, or if that's something I should wish list and wait. And I will be starting that reorganization project this weekend. So I'm going to be doing a lot of decluttering, cleaning, inventorying, organizing. And if you're interested in that sort of thing, then make sure you're subscribed because I do plan on filming it all. Old thing number two is the Natasha Denona Hyper Real Face Palette. And I have all the pictures over here. So if you see me looking this way, that's all that is. Okay, as someone who frequently uses face palettes and enjoys Natasha Denona very much, you would think this palette would be right up my alley. But the one and only shade that's really calling my name from this palette is that Everyday shade. The brown one, yes. The one that looks like sparkly dirt. Is it a shade of beige? Yes. Does Stephanie like it? Yes. But the blushes in there are a little too pink for me. And the bronzer contour shades look like they would be kind of hard to use because of that split pan format. And I feel like it would be hard for me to get the right amount of the right color on my brushes. If I were to get a face palette from Natasha, it would be, what's the older one she came out with? It's called the Glam face palette. I don't even know how long that one's been on the market. But if this Hyper Real face palette has only been on the market for like a month and it's already old news, then the Glam one that came out like 3 or 4 years ago is ancient history. But it's still on my wish list. So if I get a face palette from Natasha, it's going to be that one, not this one. And the last old new thing are the creamy eyeshadow palettes from Huda Beauty. She came out with a grayish one and a kind of brown toned one. And if I could only choose one, it would probably be the brown one. But to be honest, the grayish one looks really nice too. Every single demo I have seen of those has shown a really smooth blend, a smooth consistency, a beautiful subtlety, like really just what I like. But I've also heard that they have zero longevity. Can you confirm? Is this true? Because if the longevity really is non-existent, then all temptation for these palettes would fade for me just as quickly as the shadows fade off the eyeballs. Because the reality is I do not need these. I mean, I don't need any makeup, but I think I must own every single one of those colors at least twice over in my collection already. It's just the Makeup Monster's lure of texture and formula and variation and variety that's drawing me to these. And I have a feeling that I can honestly satisfy those tactile urges by using my Tom Ford Creme Formula quads, because I feel like the Huda Creamy formula sounds like it's similar to those, but I already own and love the Tom Ford version. So I feel like I can just use them and enjoy them and use that to satiate my urge. But I am still curious about the longevity of these, so let me know if you know. Now it's time for the new makeup, and in order to see what's new to the market, I'm heading over to Instagram to the account Makeup on Your Radar, and I'll link them below because it's always worth it if you're interested in new makeup following accounts like this. So let's see what goodies they have for us. The first thing I see here is by NYX. It is the Buttermelt Blushes. The new Buttermelt Blush with booming pigment. Once again, what is booming pigment? Butter blend and butter wear. What the? What the butt? I'm sorry, butter wear? What does that even mean, NYX? These colors, they look nice, but they also look very bright. I mean, I have nothing against bright colors. I just don't wear them all that often. Although that purple looks very vivid and very, like, shockingly so. Almost like it'd be kind of fun to wear, actually. Strange that I am saying that. But honestly, the color that sings to me the most is Feeling Butter. That one, the kind of peachy nude colored one. I would have to see it in person though, to see like if it's really a color that I would like, because what I've noticed is out of all of my powder blushes, my kind of nude colors are almost gone. So I am gonna have to look into getting a new one at some point. And I don't know, these could be nice. Next, I see a couple of creamed powder blushes from Kylie Cosmetics. Kylie is one of the Kardashians? Or are they called Jenners? I don't know. I don't follow them at all. Like, when it comes to pop culture, I know nothing. I am in a bubble. I probably wouldn't recognize a Kardashian if one slapped me in the face. So I'm assuming Kylie Cosmetics is a Kardashian cosmetic thing. I don't know. Anyway, these colors in the first photo where I see like the packaging and stuff, the colors look really nice because they look very nude, and that's exactly what I am into. But then when I look at the swatches of the colors, they are once again pretty bright. And I don't, Meet Me There would, I guess, be like the most me out of all the colors, but even that's a little bit too saturated for my liking. Then I see the new Phyto-Lip Balm from Sisley. As pretty as a lipstick and as creamy and comfortable as a balm, it hydrates, visibly smooths, and protects the lips. Those are claims I can understand. There's nothing what the butt about those. I like that. Available in 3 refillable natural shades. They do look very nice, but I think I might have already purchased the one and only lipstick I'm gonna purchase this year. I recently replaced my lip SPF, and I honestly think I have enough lipstick and lip balm to last me for the rest of the year. Would these be an option if I were gonna choose a new lip balm? I don't know, I feel like when it's time for me to search for a new lip balm, I'm gonna be lining them up and seeing exactly which one looks the prettiest. And I don't know, I'd be willing to put this into the running. I'm just not sure it would win. And does anyone have experience with Sisley lip balms? I'm wearing actually a Sisley lipstick on my lips today. And it's very nice, it's very comfortable, but it's not necessarily any better than all the other lovely lipsticks I have. So I don't know. I'm not impressed with the packaging, I think is what I'm saying, because I think the design on the packages with these Sisley lipsticks is like a sticker. And it seems like for that price point, it should feel nicer than that. This next one, Sisley could learn from. Okay, it's the new Bouche Rouge Paris collection. And I've seen these lipstick cases around. They're made out of recycled leather. They look nice. You want to sell me a luxury lipstick? This is the kind of case that I want. Am I going to get this lipstick case? No. Do I think it looks really nice, especially the beige one? Yes, I would really enjoy having it. But yeah, like I said, I'm not in the market for a lipstick right now. But I mean, if I had to choose a luxury lipstick case, it would look like this. Natasha Denona's at it again. She has now released a Hy-Glam powder foundation. And I saw this being teased on Instagram. And she would like smear it on her face and like all of a sudden all of her pores and skin just completely disappeared. And it was like she was like, you know, a perfect doll, a robot. And on the one hand, I was like, ooh, perfect skin with no pores. And on the other hand, I was like, ooh, perfect skin with no pores. That's weird. So I didn't really know how to feel about it because on the one hand, I have large pores, I have oily skin in the center of my face, and I have rosacea, which means texture. And so a blurring powder like that sounds really intriguing, but then you kind of wonder how heavy it looks in real life. Like I feel like it might have the potential to look and feel really heavy. So I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued and kind of scared of it at the same time. I think it's the sort of thing that I would want to go swatch in store to see how impressive it really looks and feels. Lancome is releasing, looks like some highlighters and some bronzers. You know, I feel like everybody sleeps on Lancome. It maybe because it's a legacy brand, everyone's like, oh yeah, Lancome, that's what my grandma used. And I mean, to be fair, that is what my grandma used, but that is also what my mother used. And I have gotten some of that stuff decluttered to me, and I have to say, everything I've ever tried from Lancome has been beautiful. I don't jive with their lipsticks, but that has more to do with like an allergy in their formula or something. But when it comes to their powder products, I have a couple of their eyeshadow palettes, so good. I have a couple of their blushes, so good. I long had only one lip liner, and it was from Lancome, and it was so good. The first bronzer I ever owned was from Lancome. It was also good. And these are matte, and these bronzers look kind of like blushes, like bronzers. And that actually is kind of intriguing to me. I wonder how these formulas are. And the highlighters also look nice, especially because it looks like they have like more of a natural finish to them. So they're not going to be gleaming at you from space. They're just going to be kind of like a nice, more subtle highlight. And I like that, but I have highlighters that do that, so I don't need one. I also, to be fair, have bronzers, so I don't need those either. But I really like the colors of these. The question is, if I could choose to get my #1 wish list bronzer, the Gucci one or one of these, which one would I pick? And I have to say, based on packaging alone, which I know is so dumb, but it's just the way I am. Based on packaging alone, I still want that Gucci bronzer in shade 1. That's like the top of my list. But these bronzers actually look pretty nice too. They haven't beat out the Gucci one though, not on my wish list. Shine by SD is coming out with some spicy, grungy, neutral, shifty, everything greens, which sounds quite interesting. I have to say, looking at the footage from their Instagram, the texture of those shadows look like it's beautiful. I have seen a lot of people rave about Shine by SD shadows, and to be honest, they look really interesting to me. But as the queen of beige, I look at these and think, I don't know, I think they're too much for me. But here's something. Okay, knowing what you know about me, queen of beige, lover of neutrals, at most is willing to do a spicy neutral. If you could choose one Shine by SD shadow for me to experiment with, which one would you recommend? That I would be curious about, because when I look at these pans, I'm just like, those do look yummy. They're just maybe a little too spicy for me. I hopped over to Trend Mood 1 on Instagram for a second because I was thinking of a very specific palette I wanted to talk about, and here it is. It is the Byredo Mineralscapes palette. This looks beautiful, and the second I saw it, I was like, ooh, I want to buy it. But even though the color story is beautiful, I don't think I want to buy it because of that. I think I am still experiencing FOMO from last year. Last year they came out with a palette in the same format, the Remembrance palette. It was kind of like a peachy, pink, orange, gold palette, and that one was right up my alley. And I kept hemming and hawing about it. I thought, ooh, I really want to get it, but oh, I really don't need it. And I was kind of going back and forth all year. And the reality is, no, I didn't need it. But to this day, sometimes I'll be looking for an eyeshadow palette to do my makeup and I'll be like, oh, I really wish I had that Byredo palette. And that doesn't happen to me very often, that I will be sorely missing a palette I didn't pick up. But that one's lost and gone forever. It was limited edition. You can't get it anymore. So I will never be able to get my hands on that. That's why I want this one. And that is a stupid reason to spend over $100 on an eyeshadow palette. Because to be fair, this, as gorgeous as it looks, I don't wear that much blue eyeshadow, and there are 3 blue shades in here. Given the kind of like darker teal in there, that's the sort of thing I wear as an eyeliner relatively often. So I think I would potentially get use out of some of those shades, but for the most part, I think those greens are a little bit too blue-based. When I look at swatches, I was watching Heba's review of this palette, and I thought it was really good, especially because it showed me exactly how blue-based those greens were, and I was like, if they were more olivey, bronzy, I think I'd like them better. I don't know. I think I like the idea of it more than I would actually like owning it. So as beautiful as I think it is, and as much as I would love to try this palette, I think really my pain point is that it makes me want the Remembrance palette, which I can't get anymore. And why would I want to own this one when it would just be a permanent reminder to me that I actually bought this just because I couldn't get the other one that I actually wanted? That would be silly. So I'm not going to get this. All to say, isn't that stupid? Isn't makeup stupid? It's dirt. It's dirt. But it's such pretty dirt. Buxom is releasing their new powerful Plump and Repair Lip Butter. It has 24-hour hydration, yay, meets instant lip plumping, blech, for an intense treatment, yay, and smooth, plush, visibly volumized pout, yay. So 3 out of 4, yay, and 1, bleh. Basically, I think I've come to the conclusion that I just want nothing to do with lip plumpers. The ones that burn hurt. And I know they say beauty is pain, but I'm sorry. No. Not for me. Makeup is my moment of zen, and I don't want to set my lips on fire in that zen moment, you know? And the ones that are kind of cooling, they're better, but still, I don't know. There's just something irritating about all of them that I'm just not so into. So I think I'm going to permanently turn my back on any of the lip plumping products. This one doesn't say it does any of those things. It just says it has next gen hyaluronic acid swelling spheres. But swelling spheres, that just sounds kind of painful to me. So I think I'm just gonna skip this. I think I'd rather just have a boring lip balm. Speaking of lip balm, Dr. Jart is releasing their Ceramidin Hydrating Ceramide Lip Balm for dry lips. Yes, that sounds much more up my alley. An intensely moisturizing lip balm infused with ceramide NP that softens skin faster than you can say mwah, and keeps lips looking healthy. See, these are claims I can live with. These make sense to me. But then I look further down and it says, this jelly-like balm. Jelly-like balm? I'm trying to imagine applying jelly to my lips. And it's not feeling very attractive. It's not feeling very elegant. I don't know. Jelly-like balm. Maybe not. I don't know. What consistency would I describe my ideal balm? It wouldn't be jelly. It would be more like, it wouldn't even be butter. I think like frosting? Does that make sense? No. I don't know. Like I want there to be a thickness and a grippiness to it, but I don't want it to look like cake frosting. I want it to look pretty. This is why I don't market makeup. Moving on. Glow Recipe. This is a brand I have heard a ton about and never tried anything. I think it's their dewdrops everyone raves about, and they sound really nice. But I think I'm the last person on earth to have not tried them. And I am curious. I don't know. What do you think? Is it worth it? Should I go out and try it? I haven't bought skincare in forever. I am still working on people have been giving me their free samples. So basically like every day it's a new moisturizer because what little sample can I open today? And I'm beginning to wonder if it might be better for my skin to maybe just go out and buy a moisturizer. Instead of throwing different ingredients at it every day. As someone with rosacea, I'm not sure. not sure I'm doing myself a favor, but I'm using what I have for now. But back to the topic at hand, Glow Recipe has come out with a Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dew Balm Sunscreen Stick SPF. The name, so long. Okay, I just call it a watermelon sunscreen and I'll be happy. It's got niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, and squalene, all three of which are ingredients that theoretically sound great. And it's in a stick. I like that. You can throw it in your bag, you don't have to worry about it exploding, and you can apply it on the go, which is something I tend to try to remember to do. If I'm at the beach, I definitely remember to do it. And since I'm at the beach a lot, something like this would be useful. Do I think I'm gonna try it? No, just because I currently have a sunscreen stick. But I don't know, maybe this one would be worth it. I hear such good things about this brand. Maybe next time I need to get a new sunscreen stick, this will be one I'll try. I don't know, have you tried this yet? If so, let me know. Jones Road came out with the I Am Me kit, containing 5 confidence-boosting products to enhance everything you want and nothing you don't. Customize your look to play up whatever makes you happiest. Bold brows, defined lips, statement blush, or a luminous glow. What if a very long beach vacation is what makes me happiest? Is that also in the kit? If I understand this correctly, this is a kit full of minis and they're selling it for 88 bucks. And that feels very expensive for a bunch of samples. YSL released their Candy Glow Tinted Butter Balm. This is the most exciting release that I absolutely hate. Beauty in the Beaker told me about this, and the second I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, it looks so good. I think this is for me, because we were having this talk. She's very into lip oils. She's tried like every lip oil on the market. And I was like, ooh, I want to get on the lip oil train. Maybe you can help me find one I'd like. So we had this in-depth conversation about exactly what I'd like in a lip oil. And at the end of the conversation, she's like, you don't want a lip oil, you just want a lip balm. And I was like, oh, you're right, I guess I do. So then she's like, well, YSL just came out with their Candy Glow Tinted Butter Balm. Maybe that's something for you. And I was like, oh, yes. And then I looked online and the first thing I saw is it's got that pH stuff in it. I'm like, why? This is what I want. But okay, I don't want lip plumpers and they don't want pH. No. So Candy Glow Tinted Butter Balm, so much about it sounds good, right? You've got a smooth, buttery lip balm providing soft shine. I like a soft shine. And a sheer flush of color. I like a sheer flush of color. Infused with shea butter and maracuja oil for smooth, hydrated lips. All of that sounds so good. And then they're like, and pH adjusting pigments. React to the body's natural chemistry, creating a unique shade. It's the same magenta on everybody. You could make 45 shades of this lipstick and they would all look hot pink on me if they've got the pH stuff in it. So I was super excited for this, and now I want nothing to do with it. Thank you, YSL, for saving me money. I just realized I just got very upset at YSL for saving me money. That's kind of absurd. I don't want the lip balm. That's a good thing. I should be more thankful than I was. I actually think this might be a good place for me to end things, because currently I am so upset that pH adjusting makeup even exists that I'm like, maybe I'll just stop buying makeup. I feel like that's a good place for me to be in right now. I don't need to buy any makeup right now. So I think like this is the perfect attitude with which to end this video. So if you are still here, thank you so much for hanging out with all my nonsense today. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll give it a like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. But even if you don't, I hope you have a great week. And we can all remember that even stumbling can be a form of moving forward. So let's stumble in style.